I have a story that I wanted to tell from this week that was really fascinating to me.
I'm ready. I'm nervous but ready.
It's pretty good. So like I've never ordered an Uber for myself. I've only ever ridden in Ubers from other people. I never ordered one myself. So I had to order an Uber this week, and it ended up being like rush hour in Austin, and it ended up being like an hour-long ride. But the guy I was with, like, he had like these crosses coming out dangling from his rearview mirror and stuff like that. You know, it was kind of interesting. And we passed by this liquor store where I saw Alex Jones. Some of you guys remember I told that story. I saw Alex Jones. And so I just pointed out, I saw Alex Jones in that store one time. And we started talking about that and started talking about conspiracies and then started talking about beliefs and stuff. And he mentioned that he was a Christian who wanted to start up this podcast about talking to people about what they believe and like their takes and stuff. And I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time to like reveal my power level here. I'm an atheist who has a podcast about talking to people about their beliefs and stuff. And so we had this really great conversation. He like was wanting to know some tips on how to get started and stuff, but he was asking a lot of good questions about my story and stuff. And one thing he said in particular, which really resonated with me, was, okay, I'm going to ask you some questions about atheism now, because right now you're representing all of atheism. And, that little moment really rung true to me, because in my personal life, I've felt like that's the case with people when I talk to people about this kind of stuff, because most people, when they think of Christians, they know tons of Christians in their life, but they may only know one or two atheists. And so those one or two atheists in their life are kind of the representation for them, like they're the ones that they think of when they think of atheists. So it kind of gave me this moment of pause, was just like, yeah, I guess I have to be that for people. And I guess other people, although it's not fair, although it's not, something that I would want for people, until we stop being the minority in this country or worldwide, that's just kind of how it is. But anyway, we had this conversation. It was really cool. He got my number afterwards and he wanted to check out the show. So Justin, if you're watching the show tonight, thanks for the Uber, bud. It was really cool. I also said I will be a guest on his show as soon as he starts launching it, because he says he's got a background in audio recording and stuff, so he's really into it. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes. But yeah, like these kind of conversations, they just kind of happen anywhere. So I don't know, really, really fun. So I don't know what your Uber experiences are like, probably different from mine, but I feel like I had a pretty good one for my first time.
Yeah, my Uber experiences have been they can be quite strange. I'm kind of with you on that. When I first moved to the UK at the beginning, this would have been back in September, I believe. So I moved over there to get my degree. I was there for about 6-7 months, and then of course I had to come back here thanks to the the current situation of things.
Sure.
But yeah, Brexit was something that was right on the verge of happening, right when myself and my boyfriend moved over there. And we were in the car with this Greek guy, and he had a lot of very, very colorful things to say about the situation.
Great.
And of course we were down with that. I mean, God, what did we know about the entire thing? But it was really interesting listening to his perspective as a guy from another individual who's also from another country, giving their thoughts on something that neither of us really were privy to, I guess.
Yeah, like these conversations, I mean, I live for this shit, obviously. Like that's my jam. Like the fact that I could just talk to somebody whose experiences were wildly different from mine. He was a guy who grew up secular, became a Christian, was really into stuff like that. I was like the direct opposite, and we could just relate on a human level. And not only that, but like go away having a positive experience rather than a negative one. I'm glad I'm able to do that, because so far for so many people, when they express their own beliefs about stuff, like there's that kind of reaction that goes on there that's kind of negative. That's that they don't feel like that they can progress with people. And I want to live in a world where I have to recognize that the majority of people, especially right now, are probably not going to think the same way that I think, but I can at least be compassionate enough to go into conversations with that understanding. And if I change somebody's mind, that's great, but at least I come away with an understanding, and hopefully they come away with an understanding too.
Yeah, and I think it's fun that you guys had a conversation about creating a podcast, right? Because it's like it's the little ways that you find common ground.
Yeah, it's true, and it can come from people of all walks of life. So next time you see somebody, and maybe you're an atheist and they're a Christian, and you feel like you can't make some headway, like, you'd be surprised. There's people of all kinds of philosophies, and Christianity itself, of course, has a wide berth of different ideas and traditions. So I encourage it. Have conversations with people, folks. That's what it's all about. And